That's exactly what I was thinking.
And like, this is the most important thing because as we get into this draft, because Ruler and Duro have been dominating 2v2 lanes with picks like the Lucian, the Corki, and if you're having a weak performance in lane and you face Ruler, I mean, the game can end in the first few minutes of the game in a 2v2 scenario. The Rumble is banned, by the way. You and I were 100% on board with Kingen having a big impact on that pick, and Gen.G agree.
Yeah, I actually think that this is a great ban because I think you want to be aiming for different things to pressure for first pick, and Yunara certainly the top of that list. Xintao's still going to receive some bans here, which is quite intriguing because he has been nerfed a little bit, not as much Q damage, not as much armor.
Interesting Galio ban by Nongshim. They're quite famed for their Galio compositions, but Jovi's an insane Galio player, so they're just going to say, I'm good at this, I like to play that style, but I don't want Jovi to have his hands on it. That's a bit of a bigger issue. Leaving both the Taliyah and the Azir up with this.
Wukong's up.
Wukong is also up. So you can trade here.
Ooh, I wonder whether Canyon lets the Wukong go through so that he can Silas it.
Could be.
We don't really know. Like, this is the frustrating thing about Gen.G players. They only play Arena. So I'm like trying to find out what they've been playing in solo queue. No, they haven't been playing solo queue. They've been playing Arena. As the Azir is going to be highest on the priority list here on Gen.G's side. So not a huge amount of surprise.
Yeah, no surprise. Maybe a Taliyah Vi angle here, potentially.
Taliyah Wukong.
Taliyah Wukong as well, yeah.
That sounds pretty scary.
It is pretty scary. It also denies the Wukong pick, and they are going to lock it. I thought they'd just go for the Vi for the simplicity of it, but Wukong is just so insanely strong, and for some reason wasn't nerfed, so...
Yeah. This is one of those things. Trundle was nerfed, so they're considering that one here is Canyon. Feeling a little bit on the outdated side. I feel like they were pretty good bans as far as the datedness is concerned. The picks haven't necessarily been as much.
Yeah, Skarner is one of Canyon's favorites, but I don't recommend it in this case.
Jungle Gwen, and then they just pick Aurora. Because the Aurora is still there for Kingen to pick into this Gwen if they would like to.
I think they certainly will, absolutely, as they will actually still lock the Skarner. This has been one of Canyon's favorite picks this year, and as it's fallen off around the world and in this region, he continues to play it. This is no surprise to Aurora. Now, I'm thinking Lucian potentially needs a look. You're looking for Jhin. I think if you're Nongshim RedForce here, Jhin is insanely strong with this draft thus far.
Not to mention Rakan as well, I think, is pretty high priority.
I think you just don't want Rule to have any sort of power in that bottom lane. Just put Jiu on Jhin and like let the rest of the team do the work. Jiu fights from far, far away, doesn't interact. Sivir, similar idea in terms of like the power of the wave clear and the scaling, and your team sets you up and you just kind of run through the fight and clean up.
Yeah, you can kind of opt out as well, especially in the mid-game where you just eviscerate waves so incredibly quickly. You don't really need to interact, so I don't mind that one either.
Also, the Sivir ult plus Wukong is pretty scary.
Yep.
Really powerful.
I do think that Rakan needs to be looked at.
I think that'll probably be the final ban here for Gen.G, but that means there's a Lucian ban.
Yep.
That means that Jiu can just play the Jhin, and if they let it through, that's my expectation. Jhin works really well for Gen.G's draft as well.
Yeah, they do have the consistent damage of the Gwen and the Azir, so they're not as worried about that one.
Yeah.
Is it? Nico is up. That's
Nico,
the other issue.
Alistair, also potential problems here.
Kai'Sa. Okay, so they're going for a trade. We're going to see some pretty high priority supports between Lehends and Duro.
Yeah, I guess it's just going to be a Nico lock-in here, potentially. It's either Nico or Jhin in my mind.
Yeah,
because Nico works incredibly well with this comp, too, when you think about it. Or
the cow.
into playing Alistair into a ruler lane. Not sure about that one myself. Corki, what a shock, Atlas.
I know. I am mind-boggled.
He plays Corki, he plays Lucian, he wins lane.
He does do that.
He keeps doing that. They just keep allowing it. All these teams keep allowing it. It's crazy.
He also plays Ezreal and does the same thing.
Yeah!
So unfortunately, you can't ban all of those away. Ruler is now going to be at least hovering.
Consider this.
I will.
He goes Corki Nico and wins the lane even more.
I think that could be a possibility. Unless Duro wants to have fun playing Brad instead, and so he is going to do that. Now, what is Jiu's pick here for this bottom lane?
I mean, Bard is so good with the Skarner.
Oh, true. The setup for these Impales
Don't you
very scary.
Don't you dare Senna here.
Yeah, I don't think they're playing so.
I mean, sometimes with you don't know.
It's a Neela angle.
Jin makes sense. Okay, I was nervous when they didn't insta-lock it. When they locked Alistar instead, I was getting more nervous, but then
Gio was stating his case. He's like, no, but Neela is actually probably the best choice here. And Lehen says no and locks him away. The Jin does make a fair bit of sense. I think otherwise, like if I had nameplates off, I'd be looking at this Nongshim draft feeling absolutely fantastic about how it looks. The problem is, on the Gen.G side, this is the most Gen.G thing we've seen ever.
Yeah,
right?
and like at this point in round 5, new patch, new smash, right? Why would I ever reveal any of the things we have planned against Nongshim that's taken 1 game off of KT, when I could just play the exact same thing that we have been dominating against even Nongshim, by the way, this entire last few weeks? Show nothing and still smash you because it's our best champions. Why take any risk? I want to see a fun champion Atlas, but Gen.G just wants to win and hide.
I know. I'm like, where is my Silas
Cowards.
Viego? They promised me Silas Viego. I remember that. It might have been a dream, but I thought. I mean, they said it in the points in our pre-show.
Is it dishonorable to just pick the best champions and hide strategies?
Yes.
Are Gen.G just very boring and cowardly team that just only wants to win and not have fun? Think about the fans, Gen.G. What are you doing?
Hey, at least Ruler did pick the cute new skin. So there's that. He's riding a chicken, not a corgi this time around. So there is at least one of those. We do see that we have the Talia and the Wukong here on the side of Nongshim. Let's see whether they can use it well. All right, Nongshim fans pretty loud here today as we're checking it out.
Quirky skin, yes!
Yeah, there we go. And
zoom in on it.
And does have the blue chroma as well, which is pretty cute.
It's in the same.
That. Look at his little chicken helmet.
It's the cutest thing you're ever going to see before Ruler goes 5-0, locks that collector in third item, and destroys you.
It's not as cute after that. What's cuter, actually, the Galio chicken skin or that chicken skin?
Ah, God, I just played a game of Galio on that chicken skin today.
Making chickens go above people's heads.
I think the Corky skin is better. I am a big Renekton toy fan, same skin line, so I'm a little biased. So who's going to have a worse time? Is it Keen or is it Lehen's? I'm thinking it's going to be Lehen's.
I do think Keen is also going to have a horrible time.
Remember last time? I think it was literally even this matchup, if I'm not mistaken, where Keen played into Aurora on Gwen, went like 0-3, and then carried a team fight, and it didn't matter, and then he popped off later.
Yeah, it did kind of happen. So I imagine that's why they have a lot of confidence in going for this one, as Cosmic Binding just makes Lehen's not have a good time. I mean, this is the thing. Alistar's do this every single lane where they headbutt forward just to, do something.
But now he has less armor, and then he has less armor when he gets Gatling gunned as well later on. It's going to be more problematic. Level 1 Gatling gun for Ruler, not going boss bomb. He just knows Lehend is going to go for that and wants to trade back.
Yep.
And it's okay for Lehend's here. Level 1, they get level 2 at the same time.
Ooh, not going to see any back away or anything like that. No waiting for a shove. As, now the shrines are going to get put up. And this lane feeling difficult. Nongshim are standing their ground relatively well. I don't think, this could have been worse, especially with that minion going to waste.
Yeah, I think Ruler actually missed 2 CS. He's down on far.
Goodness. Disastrous. At least now, this is what it says on the tin.
Barrier,
actually
baby.
Tempo barrier here to make sure that his health bar doesn't go too low.
Ruler has a picture of all the barriers on cooldown with the player name. Like, see, if you just took a screenshot of that GU block there, he has a picture of every barrier he's gotten at level 2, on his wall in the Gen.G team house.
Man, he's got a very big wall.
No, I know. It's like he's starting to figure out if he needs to put it on the second wall or if he's like, is it the Animal Crossing there? I can put it on the ceiling.
Yeah, I think it's time to put it on the ceiling. I think that's the way. That way, when he's lying on his back, ready to go to sleep, you can just look at all of the barriers that he's
had a bad day. I remember the barriers I got.
One loss for Bard here in the Legend group is kind of impressive for the little Shrine Master.
They didn't even play Nico in this lane. Just want to remind everyone, they decided to go for Bard for the Skarner synergy, which makes a lot of sense. Speaking of Skarner.
Oh, yeah, Calyx is going to get slammed into the wall here. Flash immediately having to be used, as Canyon will be able to move down towards the other Rift Scuttle as well. This is exactly where he wanted to go, as Gideon walks over a ward, but I don't know what Keen's really going to be able to do about this one. Unless Chovy's willing to risk a teleport, as King in.
They're waiting it out?
Doesn't pick up the aggro as they wait for the circle to go down, and they just let him live.
Yeah, they nice electrocute proc gank. They got the electrocute proc, and that's all they're going to get, and then walk away.
I mean, that was better than them both dying, but just certainly felt like they could have maybe tried for something after the circle went down.
So as it turns out, both Lehens and Keen having a slightly better than expected time.
Yeah, not too bad.
You not so much.
Yeah, let's be careful with our caster curses, Wolf. You are aware of your responsibilities.
Yeah, no, Cronny's off today, so they're especially real today.
Indeed. We have no doubters. Although I feel like they happen more when Chronicler's here.
That's true.
Because they're trying to show him, like, we are real Chronicler.
That's right, because Chronicler also is deep in his heart aware that, in fact, the curses can show him things.
Yeah, I feel like he uses them as his way of sort of fighting back, you know? Because often he's just so nice. So he uses his caster curse in order to find a little bit of evil.
Yeah, just a slight evil, just like Gen.G with this draft, slight evil.
Yeah, a little bit of evil. We wanted to see some new cool stuff.
Yeah.
And instead, they pick very Gen.G.
Maybe he'll go to game 3 and they'll be kind of forced to eventually.
Well, Alex is not, he's going to the Death Chamber. That's first blood going over to Canyon Skarner.
Both of these ganks at the angle for Canyon has been incredibly impressive. Like the last time Gideon was on the top side of the map, he was able to avoid him, go under the scuttle, and get that first gank off. The second time here with Calyx's flashless, he's able to still avoid him, wrap around past the brush, and then go between the brush and the raptors to find him there. So he's like, look, I will kill this Talia. I will it. And Chovy said, yeah, let's do it. And they did.
Yeah, it was very nicely done. Now the raptors go over to him as well. I think he was looking for even another one, which would have been crazy. As, yep, here he is. Seismic Shove is going to connect, though, onto Chovy, who does use the Emperor's Divide, but dies immediately. So really nice shove there from Calyx, and he read that play that time. Lehen's also here to lend a hand.
If there was a stat for turret proximity in the mid lane, Chovy might be leading the stat from rounds 3 to 5 on Azir specifically. This
Although
is the second time.
Zeka would be giving him a run for his money, I imagine, on the Azir as well. But certainly some pretty aggressive placement.
Yeah, there's some weird stuff happening. But that was, like, the third time is, in fact, not the charm in this case. It was the second time is the charm for those mid-ganks. And that's a big win for Calyx, because that's neutralizing the advantage that they had gotten. And obviously the kill going over to Canyon as well makes it a lot better here is, you know, Canyon's coming over, level 5. Chovy knows he has 6 here.
Yeah, and this one was very comfortable.
And like, this one's the freebie. Though Chovy has 6, right? So
he got caught on the rocks.
Actually, on second look, I didn't quite notice that the first time that he was stunned on rocks.
Yeah, so couldn't actually get the ult off, which is what he wanted to do.
Yeah, I thought it was just a flick, but it was rocks into catch under turret.
It's a bit of both. So very nicely done there by Calyx. Not going to be bullied in this game. As you can see, the gold in the mid lane is entirely even. It's still going to be about 300 gold in Gen.G's possession. But with the fact that this is Jhin Alistar towards the bottom side of the map, we weren't expecting a lot from the early game. I think it's just fine for Nongshim.
Yeah, I mean, no duo kills happened.
Yeah.
That's, you know, it's a step in the right direction for most teams.
Well, Lehens is also looking for a little bit more, perhaps, as Chovy does
he's
put up the Sand Soldier.
So he's a vulnerable target for sure. Calyx will have flash advantage here eventually. Lands has level 6 actually with all the XP he siphoned pre-grub fight. That is exactly where you want to be as an Alistar. Now, Duro will also, with his lane swap up here, be able to get the last bit of XP and have 6 as well. This is going to be a pretty fiery 6v6 with the Alistar ult and that hard combo.
Ooh, actually getting the Between Worlds out here as there's the flash forward from Chovy. Seismic shots, gorgeous! Into the Cyclone. Under the turret goes Gideon, but he is more than happy about that one as Gen.G will start up these grubs. We'll see how many they can get. before Gideon makes his way over. But without Cyclone, it's going to be hard to fight.
Yeah, no Cyclone, and they have Tempered Fate plus the Impale. So it's just not a fight you want to take. So you got Chovy, but you lost the grubs for it. At the end of the day, one step closer to Feats of Warfare here for Nongshim. A little bit of extra gold in their pockets, but Gen.G getting the greater objective, especially when you consider they have the Azir and the Gwen on their team composition. Not that, you know, the Aurora isn't bad. Yep, the Gwen and the Azir are much stronger if they can get some alone time with the turret. So this is the catch on to Chovy from Lehens. The flash engage is fantastic. They know he has no flash. Would have been tough to react even if he did, but they know there's just no outplay here.
Yep, beautifully done there from Nongshim to really keep the pressure up onto Chovy, who almost has a gold disadvantage in this mid lane. Calyx will turn up and probably be able to get that one back. Chovy not too worried, almost with his flash back up and available once again. This dragon has just not been looked at. It's a pretty late one. Still, it's been alive about 4 minutes thus far.
Pings coming down, they know that Duro is in the area here, and they're just trying to make sure that there's no sort of shenaniganry happening, as Kingen has a very even CS number with Kingen.
I'm worried about that.
Yeah,
this is not how the matchup.
Not normally, no.
But also, I feel like the Gwen really does get a lot more attention. We did see that Gideon sort of just went past and high-fived him and stuff like that, but that's not killing the Gwen, which is what we do see a lot of in this matchup, where you really do want to try and pressure at home the lead that you can get in that lane. It is now Kingen with a bigger lead as he picks up an extra wave. I don't know whether Keen really got too many of the minions as he made his way towards that top side.
I think what's so interesting about this early game so far is all of the expectations based on how dominant Gen.G has looked with drafts like this, especially with these types of lane matchups. You know, you kind of expected this early game to be a bit of a wash, and yet, like, surprisingly, the Gwen is doing better than we expected, but the bottom lane, only 15 CS down. Like, it's a 300 gold lead, but it wasn't a disaster. Nobody died. Lehens has made a big impact on this map. Chovy losing flash. The follow-up gank is good. Like, Nongshim really keeping this game competitive, and I know it's still only 10.5 minutes in, but you and I, like, just said, like, around the, 8 to 10 minutes, we'd be looking at each other going, oh, it's one of those games. It's not!
Yeah, Emperor's Divide is going to send Lehens underneath the turret. Duro makes a magical journey over, so Chovy going to hold on to the flash this time around, but Lehens, I do like the idea. Continue just trying to get as many buttons out as he possibly can. First items for both of our junglers, but Gideon's pretty much, it's a bit of a better one, as the Trinity Force complete. Nothing else in his inventory.
Yeah, no, he needs shoes.
All right, well, Seismic Shove going to deliver the Bard back towards Calyx as he just stands his ground. Man.
Also, the knock-up animation for Bard is so silly. I never noticed that before. It's very funny.
Yeah, sort of like flailing about.
Yeah, he goes full, like, Pillsbury Doughboy. All right, well, this is going to be Nongshim with that near pick onto Duro to start off Dragon, but the Ruler's in the area here. This is a very risky start. We're going to have to see a Weaver's Wall.
Yeah, that's the teleport in as Kane looking for an angle here as in goes Canyon, but a little bit early as he flashes to get towards the dragon. It is going to be secured. Tempered Fate to keep Canyon alive for a little while longer, but Ruler, I don't know what we're quite doing there as Between Worlds does come down. Kingen almost just kills him, but Ruler will be able to survive momentarily. Finally, the auto comes in and Nongshim wipe the floor with Gen.G in the dragon fight, and Kingen may even be able to find another as Duro limps away with single-digit health.
Not quite able to get that last kill, but I think they'll take the big win and getting the dragon and getting a multi-kill team fight here. And the fact that they're able to have this setup, right, is really important. Like, watch how Gen.G come over for the contest. Calyx is on this Talia. Canyon goes in here for some reason and is just obliterated. I suppose the argument is because Bard can Tempered Fate from so far away, they're hoping that he's going to set up an Impale, but he's so late. Because, again, the timing just doesn't work out. The Canyon just dies instantly. Tempered Fate just delays the inevitable. Nobody else can get in there. Chovy does not have a big ult. And Duro barely survives. That's your consolation prize, but a very greedy contest from Gen.G.
Yeah, and it's also Feats of Warfare now going over as Duro once again getting abused as Ruler finds a cheeky monkey in his jungle. As look at that, the gold graph just exploding in favor of Nongshim here.
I mean, they're just going to continue to pressure this jungle.
This is fantastic. And we now get to see Lehen's on the front foot on this Alistair as well. He is so good at just keeping the needles in his opposition, right? You can never relax when you're against this guy because he will just always keep going. He will always keep the pressure up. And as we can see, he is behind Chovy right now with vision control in this brush at the same time as Chovy does get in there, get that ward down. He knows. He's certainly, like, Chovy's been on the receiving end and alongside Lehen's when it comes to this, so he's pretty aware.
Right. What happened over here?
Oh, there's the Doughboy.
Yeah.
He really just, whoa. It's very good. He doesn't look like he's having a bad time. Which he's kind of supposed to when you're getting knocked out. You know, when you're crowd controlled, it's not normally a fun time, but he just looks like he's having such a good time. He literally
looks like he's in a bouncy castle.
Yeah.
And he's having a great time.
He looks like Baymax
Belly up.
from Big Hero 6, you know? La 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 la. Anyway, Rullet collects this minion wave, and I don't know whether, like, it's not enough to decide the game, but it feels fantastic here for Nongshim.
Yeah, and I mean, it's Legend Group. You know, we always talk about when you have a lead in Legend Group, most of our teams really just don't let it go. But I think, you know, considering Nongshim and KT are still Legend Group teams, that's relatively the case. Gen.G is a bit of a different beast. As you can see, Ruler is crazy and is going to be able to win like basically every scenario somehow. At the end of the day, I think you've got to hold on to your pride. Like, if you lose one team fight here, this lead goes away, right? So, yeah, you have a big lead. You are continuing to pressure. You went deep into the bottom side of the jungle. Now you're threatening Keen here for a potential dive. Gideon has his Cyclone back up, so Keen has to be respectful. You got to hold on to this game tight. But don't like, hold on so tight that it slips through your fingers. You have to be really careful about overextending while trying to hold this prize. We're going to see a TP. They're going to commit to Keen. Weaver's Wall gank incoming.
Yeah, you can see Keen is wondering whether he should get out of here or not, and I think I like what he was considering there, as the flash out of the way of the headbutt pole means that Keen will live, and first brick goes over to Gen.G. Nongshim hot in their heels, but not hot enough, as it turns out.
This decision was interesting because they're like, okay, I don't want to die in the cross map, and then we can act first and kill Keen.
If they get in as well,
that's what I'm talking about.
Much.
Like, it's not only first brick that also goes over, but you use TP and they get 2 turrets because you used.
Surely this doesn't go down, right?
Oh, it goes. By the way, 3 grubs on Nazir with Nashor's Tooth. See ya.
Okay, well, never mind. And then there is a turret for the enemy team. All of a sudden, as Gideon is going to be able to get started on this Rift Herald, so at least there's that. One step closer to feats of strength as well. 1 point apiece.
They just
right
took
now,
a 1,300 gold bite out of the lead from Nongshim from that play alone.
That's kind of ridiculous. And now they're not going to give this one up. Cosmic Binding does go wide, though, as Gideon is going to be able to lock this one down. Chovy makes his way in. The Weaver's Wall coming on down as Kingin bounces to the other side to avoid the Emperor's Divide. Beautifully done. And Gen.G's little engage is going to get thwarted here.
Can they get something out of this Nongshim beyond the objective? It looks like the answer is no. But they got immediately TP, they got the ult.
And Rift Herald's yet to go down. So Gideon will be able to use that somewhere to lock down a little bit more. But
use it mid to grab this Dragon Prio. I think that's probably what they're going to do.
All right, another Polarize going to connect here onto Canyon. Deadly Flourish comes down as well as Gideon gets over the top. He's pretty tanky, does have to flash to get out of the way, but will survive.
They can either use it for like Teamfight Herald, or they can use it for mid as Geo is caught.
Yeah, Ruler is going to throw some rockets into him. Does just Ghost Blade and Barrier to get himself out of there.
Yeah, Chovy doesn't have ult from the last fight. He's aware of that, doesn't flash. But this is Prio kind of gained by Gen.G though, and they're pushing in.
Yeah, teleport from Keen as well, as Lehen's Hex Flash not going to be helping him out there, as the rest of Nongshim are grouped around where this Gwen is going to be coming out. Nullifies the Seismic Shove, as the circle is like, the Gwen's immune stuff is just a bit ridiculous. So Gen.G will be able to take this dragon. One more objective. Whoever gets it, gets the cool new Nikes. As it's a Cloud Soul, you love to see it. As Gideon doesn't love to see that. 3 people in a brush. Deadly Flourishes have been pretty good, though, as Lehen's driving the Rift Herald, and the charge is going to come through. Now the curtains are being called, as Lehen's continuing to do battle. Keen stays alive because Gwen is immune, and the curtain call means absolutely nothing. Kingin bounces into the Dragon Pit, and Gen.G will play the defense.
And that's the one team fight I was talking about. Then Gen.G are right back into the game. They had the macro play moments before. The Nongshim are super indecisive. Gen.G are not. They push on to Geo. He's pushed out. They get that Prio back. And Nongshim don't drop the Herald in mid, which would have given them prio so that that situation didn't happen to Gio, but they wanted to use it in the team fight. But they gave up the team fight and then just dropped the Herald at the end and looked for a charge to the bottom lane, which still happened because of the timing of the Tempered Fate. Actually denies the... It's very funny. It's like hits him in the end of the charge, so it actually still goes off.
Yep. And
then here, Gwen is immune. That final shot.
Keen is really bringing back the old memes, man. Because I feel like Gwen, because that's Keen and Gwen. Gwen has not looked as like infinitely broken as she used to. But in the last few passages of play, Keen really has made a good argument for this champion is not okay.
Like, everyone go back and watch that Banana Brush Gwen 0-3 play from Keen as well, where they collapse on him and he's like, I'm immune, by the way.
Seismic shoves, impossible to hit, apparently.
Yeah, man, it was looking so good for Nongshim, too. It's still a 200 gold lead.
It's fine, yeah.
200 gold lead. And they're looking for Chovy.
Oh.
We're all looking for
They found him. Yeah. They found him.
Yeah, we're all in our own way.
Trying to get a bit philosophical with it.
Like, if, someone at home has like not really figured out where they're going in their life, they haven't even watched the LCK before, it's because they're still looking for Chovy. They just don't know it yet.
One day they'll find him, though, and then they'll realize, I need to be an accountant. That's probably what, I mean, that's when you can figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, Warren Buffett, Elon Musk, Donald Trump. Have they found Chovy yet? Nope. So, they could talk about their success all the way. President of the United States. Yeah. Have they found Chovy? No. I don't think so.
Is it real success then? Yeah. You haven't found Chovy? Well, Hens at least, he managed to find Chovy. So there is...
Not even Abraham Lincoln found Chovy.
No, he definitely didn't find Chovy.
All right, well, Chovy
Canyon
gets
found
away.
Gideon.
Yeah.
Does that count?
I don't think so.
Consolation Gideon? Because, I mean, I guess Canyon, it's very easy for him to find Chovy. Because, he always has vision of him.
Yeah, no, they ride together.
Is that why Gen.G is so successful? Because they've all found Chovy.
They've all found Chovy.
Has Chovy really found himself?
Think about some of Chovy's ex-DRX members. How are they doing? They're doing pretty well.
Emphasis on the XD is okay. Keen underneath this turret will be able to take that one down. And Kingen, he's trying to get out. Will he? No. Oh, God, the burst damage is absurd.
The cross-map Otacon attempt here. Like, they do have Weaver's Wall. Calyx is rotating over. Maybe they can actually make this happen.
I mean, Canyon is here. It's still likely to be a 50-50.
Tempered Fate plus Impale. Watch out, Nongshim. Calyx is going to use the wall.
Teleport is going to come in. The Weaver's Wall, I don't know whether it's quite going to do enough, as Otacon was kind of trapped in the middle of it. There's the Tempered Fate to allow Gen.G the setup as Keen just dives forward. The Impale comes down. The Otacon is collected by Nongshim. Gideon at least gets that one. But can they get anything more? That's the question. Cosmic Binding not going to work onto Calyx. Just slows him down a little as Chovy likes those rocks. And it isn't going to get too much more. So Nongshim snatch the Otacon away and get themselves those levels, the petals, all that fun stuff. But they will lose this outer turret in mid lane and a bit more money because Gideon died.
Yeah, they got feats of strength too. But yeah, grubs are powerful, and they will get the turret. Gold is no longer in favor of Nongshim here. As King, and he's trying to do some fancy stuff here, but if Ruler isn't here, maybe. Meanwhile,
Chovy just goes over the wall there momentarily. It looks like Scorpion's on the menu here. Seismic Shove delivers him. Beautiful chain CC. Nowhere that Canyon could go, decides that he does not want to flash, and I think that was the right call.
And
collecting chimes.
Yeah, okay. Still not quite back in the lead, but it's a nice pick. They also didn't catch Chovy. We're all still looking for Chovy, but they get the Constellation Canyon. Canyon's not too happy about that. This game is very interesting because Gen.G keep getting a ton of prio, a ton of advantages, and then Nongshim are finding these small punishes, but then Gen.G still gets something else on the map.
Yeah, this is the problem. They have inherent tempo vibes. Empress Divide is not going to catch Calyx.
Very close. Very close. But like Chovy was able to have this push the whole time. So yeah, right after the reset, you got his TP, but then you have to flash, and it's like every single time Nongshim gets something, it feels like Gen.G gets something slightly better.
Yeah. This is the problem. It's the power of the tempo vibes, man. All right, first Cloud Drake up and available here. Looks like that's where Gen.G is going to be focusing. And man, the map just feels so small for Nongshim. 4 turrets to 2.
One big thing is that Chovy doesn't have his Emperor's Divide here. Very difficult to punish without prio, but maybe they try for it. Calyx has T-Flip is not coming.
And Gideon's in base. He was on a reset. Does hit the 2-item spike, but not going to be helping them here for this second Drake for Gen.G. So they do manage to lock that one down. Not soul point or anything like that. Nothing really to worry about in the next fight. I think will be one that Nongshim will be feeling better about, especially with Gio now completing his collector as well.
They're going to try to grab this inner in topside by just grouping here and catching anyone who comes to defend, but Gen.G are going to slow push this, be very careful.
Well, it is a very tanky Canyon. He did recently die, though, so he will respect it. Blast cones his way out. It's a lot of damage onto Lehens.
They committed so much, got nothing, and then Keen is chilling.
Hey, got blue buff. There's that. Magical Journey gets Duro out of there. He isn't too worried, but as you can see, Keen is going to push this wave into basically the inhibitor turret.
When in League of Legends you spend 5 people versus 4 people and get nothing but a blue buff, like you said, and then the one is a 3-grub Gwen on the other side. It's a little bit alarming, it's a little bit concerning, but at the end of the day, Gen.G don't get too much because the turret was already down.
Yep.
They don't get an inhibitor. I mean, Nongshim have more pedal stacks because of the Otacon.
There's definitely positives to glean from this one.
I mean, Gio has 0 deaths, he's 0-0-4, he's got 2 items.
And Calyx is like, it looks on paper like he's down 26 CS. He's still basically in line with the clock, right, at 24 minutes, which is still great farm. It's just that Chovy and Ruler have just gotten all of the red dots. So it's just a little bit of a shame. 3, 1, and 3, though, on this Talia, and the shoves have been good. Like, Calyx has actually looked great in this game.
Yeah, he really has.
As Chovy, they are doing that thing. They're doing the thing. Can we find him? They did find him technically twice, as we've seen.
I mean, if you see him, have you really found him, though?
That's a really good point. As Ruler accidentally sidesteps that one, as Valkyrie does come on through. Ruler able to keep himself alive as Duro has the heal to help him out, and then immediately has Ghost.
And Keen has his teleport back, and he's just
this is like
he's doing his push bali, you know. He's
it's
really
a very happy. It's a happy Keen day today. It's a very happy. Look at him. He's just frolicking around the jungle, having a great time. Baron? Even in farm, bit ahead in even a bit ahead in gold.
Baron is oddly enough, even on spawn, I think reasonable for Gen.G to take pretty soon here because of all the damage they have. 2-item Gwen, 2-item Azir, 2-item Corki. Like, this needs to be respected by Nongshim, and they have 1 ward here to the left side. Canyon is going to hit it with his control ward, and they're just going to start this up. And there's a TP from Kingen, but
I mean, the last smite from Gideon was fantastic.
Yeah,
so I'd certainly try to respect that one, as he is going to show himself on this ward. Gen.G do manage to get that one down, but here's the turn. Down goes the Bard in the blink of an eye, and Ruler is just going to cook some eggs over that wall to get himself out of there.
Yeah, not the happiest doughboy this time, Jero, as he is
We may
down
still have got the animation, but unfortunately he then left the rift.
Well, now Nongshim with this control of the choke point, Weaver's Wall, Cyclone, like, don't back here, come on.
Well, they do get the control.
Yeah, I feel like they could have maybe tried to force an awkward fight here for Gen.G without the support there, and with all of that.
They've got so much vision.
Like, if they had Gideon cycloning in the control, in the choke point there where they have full control, like, I would have liked that a lot. As this is just a great play from Lehen, setting up Calyx's shove.
And he did look, the doughboy thing did happen, so it was pretty fun.
Yeah, no, I mean, Gen.G, like, they're not really losing that much if they still got to see the doughboy animation.
Yeah, exactly. And in fact, I think everyone wins, really. As now the gold is even, and the next fight probably going to be around this Cloud Drake. It's going to be spawning in just over a minute's time. Seismic shoves seem to be everywhere, wherever Duro is walking. And when you do have a Bard, it is a lot more difficult to get into the jungle and ward things up. I think he is certainly experiencing that.
The difference between teams like Nongshim, Hanwha, and T1 is, you know, like, Hanwha, T1, and Gen.G probably start Baron in this scenario. Like, they have full vision control, they have a Wukong with flash and ult. I think Nongshim are just like, this is the closest we've ever been! Yep. I'm not taking a risk, I'm not gonna do it! I'm just gonna wait
throw it away!
Yeah, but like, instead they did throw away all the vision to the bottom side of the river here. They have some residual vision, but they're just nowhere near the pit anymore, so it doesn't really mean as much. And now Gen.G kind of control both objectives, arguably. And you could have looked for a play, but now you have to break your way into the prio. I say that, they are gonna slowly wrap around here.
Yeah, looking for some angles perhaps. I did feel like it was such a good time for Gideon to fight. He just hit that 2-item spike with his Sundered Sky that had just come in.
Fast Cyclone, it's Wukong, come on!
Yeah, there's an angle here. 10 seconds on the Drake. There's going to be Soul Point teleports available for Keen. He can just go over there and take the dragon if they would like to, but Gen.G instead just going to be pressuring this inner turret.
Gen.G, you're like, while you think about it, I'll take a turret.
Well, Weaver's Wall is going to split this one up, but the turret does go down. Seismic Shove not going to connect as Canyon just goes on a bit of a ride. There's the Tempered Fate to set up on this Alistar, but he's not exactly an optimal target. They will get the Unbreakable Will. But Nongshim still just able to move over towards this Baron.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is the more ideal time to take it than what they had before, especially because Jiu can't get access here. It's a great blue trinket here.
Oh man, Nongshim just caught an indecision again. As Ruler's just going to come on over, and it looks like it is going to be Soul Point going over to Gen.G at the same time. Not to mention, they just shoved down the mid lane. They increased that gold lead to about 1,000. I mean, this game has been so close, but also doesn't feel close.
No, exactly.
It's so weird,
I mean,
man.
It's like Dragon and Turret or Global Blue.
Well, Keen is trying to be immune, and it's kind of working, as he does flash out of the way. Seismic Shove goes wide. The Cyclone there doesn't do too much, and they almost got 50%.
Now you don't have Cyclone. Now you definitely can't start Baron. I mean, Keen doesn't have Flash, but that's way less valuable for this upcoming objective as Gen.G slowly wrapping around. They do not have vision here, so they have to be very careful.
Yeah, Canyon can face check because he kind of has like a lot of health and stuff.
And they know there's no Cyclone. So that's one of the biggest, scariest problems they would have to face otherwise.
Well, Nongshim are just going to catch this wave. Gen.G did the same thing though, so there's just going to be no minions here in mid lane. Keen, level 15, level 16 was gained there by Kingen, with the help of Adakan, of course.
Nongshim, they don't care if you don't do the Baron.
Yeah. And
if you just kind of wait there, like they'll just slowly check.
Their Baron damage isn't, like, it's not bad.
It's definitely nowhere near as good as Gen.G's. Yeah, it's definitely nowhere near as good as Gen.G's. But I don't think you have to kill the Baron, you just got to turn off, but they don't have Cyclone, so that's why they're not going to do it. And that's why Gen.G knows they're probably just lurking here, and they're going to slowly come over, take a different angle, and eventually they can break through.
It's almost back, the Cyclone.
Yeah, this is, but they don't have Prio anymore, so he has to use it to engage into them. And Gen.G are just like, all right, well, checkmate, basically. We can even take a reset.
Yeah, which is what they're going to do.
Duro has Unsealed Spellbook to TP back in. He's actually really the only one who's going to reset, in fact. It looks like they were going to do a multi, but he's just going to head right back to the mid lane. Jovi's going to get everyone a red buff.
Yep, recharged all of his wards, did Duro as well, so he'll be able to go over and help clear things out. 3.5 minutes on the Cloud Soul opportunity as Keen gonna get caught here once again, but he gets booped over the wall with the help of the Weaver's Wall. Goes golden just to avoid this curtain call as Ruler possibly out of position, but another Cyclone gonna get eaten by a flash, and the Emperor's Divide throws the monkey back in. The Impale just going to deliver him, and it's a triple kill here for Ruler. Is it the pentakill time? Can he finally manage to take it away from his teammates? Jiu, I think, is going to be able to deny it. Calyx as well, not going to be going down without a fight. And Ruler, oh my goodness, he hasn't been overtaken by the Pentacola in his brain. He is instead just going to do the Baron.
And they're going to find Calyx anyways.
Yep, I think it's going to be enough here for Keen just to come on over and chase him down. But instead, the Seismic Shove is pretty good. They might need to employ Chovy to come up and help, especially with these Cosmic Bindings going wide. Calyx trying to take one before he does fall, and he's pretty scary on this Talia, but Seismic Shove not going to be enough, and that is going to be Chovy locking that one down, his first kill of the game.
I love how this game has kind of boiled down to Nongshim not making choices. I mean, I don't love that for Nongshim, but like, when you see how decisive Gen.G are, like Keen goes in there and tries to clear ward, walks out faster than the Weaver's Wall, knows he has Zonius, by the way. He does not make this play without having an arm guard. Then he is able to get away, go immune, and then basically set his entire team up for success. Desperate Cyclone there, to say the least, from Gideon, who tries to catch Ruler, but doesn't really catch anything. And straight up just basically wastes his ultimate, and then the fight is over. It's just completely split up, you know? Like, Gen.G are like, let's make a choice, and Nongshim try to punish those choices, but are a little bit behind the 8 ball every time as the stun goes down on the Kingen.
Yeah, he is trying to bounce his way out of this one, still takes the rock to the head as Gio almost just dies. Tempered Fate right into the base with Ruler, who is just sort of hanging out with a monkey. Magical Journey comes on through, there's the flash out, and Canyon, he can just drive his way out, decides against it, as now Ruler with the barrier. Pulverize comes on through there as Ruler is in so much trouble, does manage to take one down before he falls, but Gideon with no Cyclone has no way out. It's Canyon that takes down the turret as well as the monkey, and I don't think they're going to need their Corki to break open the base here as Gen.G with an 8,000 gold lead. Like, Really? Like, it just doesn't feel like it should be an 8,000 gold lead. It's a 5,000 gold Red Bull Baron power play.
Yeah, wait until you see the gold graph, as this is unfortunate. Yeah. Thanks. Anyway, this year, Gideon has to Cyclone defensively, so he doesn't have it for the follow-up, which is really a shame, because if he has it when this wall comes through and Calyx finds the shove...
Calyx is playing so well.
Yeah, no, he is, and like, everyone has had their moments in this game. Like, Gideon had a pretty good start to this one. You know, Kingan's laning phase wasn't super impressive, but had some decent team fights, but... You know, Gio also stable in the lane with Lehen. Lehen found some amazing engages, caught Chovy in mid lane.
Don't look at the number next to Ruler. There's a bit of a hump here, as we can see, moving up to 8,000. It's scale that's a little bit difficult, because we saw this in our last series, but the hump represented like 3,000 gold, you know?
Yeah.
This was like, and now it's over. You know, it's kind of the representation of what's happened here. Cloud Soul is going to be picked up by Gen.G alongside it, utilizing the last 10 seconds of the Baron. And with the top lane inhibitor now dead, just guaranteed that that Drake was going to be uncontestable.
It was such a good start for Nongshim. Lehens has already found Chovy because they were teammates as well, but he found him, you know, in the mid lane.
Yeah, he did.
Like, Bill Gates hasn't done that yet, but like...
Did you know Bill Gates is going to be on that show that you were on, by the way, apparently?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is he going on UQuiz? Is that
Yeah,
what
I think you're actually as famous as Bill Gates now.
Wow.
As Seismic Shove is going to push Canyon back towards Nongshim. He's driving away, able to use Duro here. And the Redemption even is going to come down just to keep him even more alive as Keen dives into the back line looking for a bit of an angle as the Tempered Fate to lock up Calyx momentarily. That was the decoy as Chovy finds the angle, takes down the Aurora, and is now just running amok, looking to destroy Nongshim. Canyon will catch on to Calyx. There's the Impale, another great shove to be perfectly honest. But it won't actually do anything as Juve is going to be left alive, but not for very long. As look at the damage Ruler's doing. That's going to be the ace, and Gen.G will close out game one. A weird one, but in the end, it just didn't really feel like it was going to go any other way.
No, it really didn't. And that's because with a lead, even though it was slight, and with map control, Nongshim were frozen.